Alright, so here's a little bit about my experience with Pure Drivetrain Solutions. I contacted them and shipped them my 8L90 last September for a stage 2 build. That's what they recommended for my tow truck, my blower tow truck. And they were supposed to build me a converter also. Well, I purchased a converter. They did not tell me that I needed to ship them my stock converter. So I threw mine away because who wants an old junk stock torque converter? They wanted to charge me $500 for a cord charge, and I pointed out that they did not ship. They did not tell me I needed to ship it, so they actually made that right. I'm gonna give if they do something right, I'm gonna say that they did something right. So in November, beginning of November, I received my stage 2 build with a torque converter. I let them spec it out. I told them it's a tow truck, daily driver. Um, the torque converter drove looser than I wanted, but it wasn't nothing to like complain about or to ship back for a restall. Transmission it drove great at first. About 300 miles into break-in, it started having an issue where to summarize it, I'm pretty sure there's a bad solenoid on the valve body. It'd be commanded to lock up the torque converter, and we'd have 2,300 RPM of slip. It's like a solenoid's being commanded to be closed, and it suddenly opens, and it did it randomly. So I contact Pure, and I'm like, hey, I'm having this issue. I'm still in the break-in period. What do you recommend? What do you want to look at? I sent them data logs. You know, went back and forth, and they thought the torque converter was bad, so they wanted me to ship them the torque converter. I decided to send them the whole transmission with the torque converter. So I shipped them the transmission in January. They received it in January, and there was a lot of silence throughout this period. I was constantly bugging Pure. Like, I just wanted answers. To summarize it, um, I wasn't trying to rush them. I told them, I'm not trying to rush you, but I need an estimated time frame on this because we now entered raining season, and this truck is my daily driver. I told them that. I'm riding my bike to work. I told them, okay, if this is going to take 6 months, just let me know. I need to know, like, do I need to rent a car on rainy days? Do I need to buy a beater, like buy a whole nother car to get me by? But all I wanted was an answer, and I wasn't really getting that. Pretty much, they didn't find anything wrong with the transmission. They disassembled, reassembled, disassembled, reassembled. Then they waited for the owner, Chris Miller, to do the same. He was out on the road racing. So when he got back, he did the same. He found nothing wrong. So he called me. And after we talked, like, we both came to the conclusion it has to be a valve body issue. Now, mind you, I did pay for a brand new valve body with the stage 2 build. It was on the invoice as a separate item. So, beginning of April, they finally shipped my transmission back to me, and so I get it. I open up the box, and they threw in a bunch of merch, shirts, hoodies, hats, and that was cool of them. But they also never asked what size I wear. I am a bigger guy. I had no use for it. No one around here knows about Pure Drivetrain Solutions, so they're hobos walking around in Fresno with Pure merch. But there was something very different this time. I had a packet in there with paperwork from General Motors. It was information about the valve body, and this stressed the importance of the PUN, the parts unique number, and that it needs to be written down. It's only located on the valve body itself, and so there's nothing handwritten in this packet, and there's nothing sharpied on the housing of the transmission. So I emailed them. I'm like, hey, about this PUN, nothing's written down. It stresses the importance of it. Do you have that written down for your own records? Because I really would rather not have to pull the pan filter to try to find that information. I got nothing from them. No response. I messaged them twice about the PUN, and I got nothing. So now, mind you, the first transmission build, I did not get that paperwork. And when we were trying to diagnose, like before I sent them the transmission, they never asked, hey, did you program the PUN into the TCM? They never asked that. When I talked to Chris Miller on the phone, He never asked me about that. I'm pretty sure they didn't replace the valve body. They charged me $1,500, but to me it looks like they did not actually put a new valve body. I think they reused mine. So anyway, since I wasn't getting a response from them, I got a little pissed off, and I made a little sarcastic post on Instagram, showing the transmission with the pan and filter off, um, before I even put it in the truck. And I said, "Hey, is it, common practice to have to take your shit apart before putting it in the vehicle?" Which of course is not. But I mean, hey, it's like they're ghosting me anyway. I mean, what the hell, you know? And I didn't even call out Pure. I didn't state who built the transmission. I got the transmission in and got it running. A couple days later, Chris Miller himself comments on that post, and of course he wasn't happy about it. And this time he said he's glad to see that I am taking the proper steps to getting the transmission to work right this time, as if implying that I didn't program the PUN the first time, which of course I would have had I known. But again, I don't think they replaced the valve body, so there was no need to replace the PUN. The PUN in the TCM follows the valve body. So we go back and forth. We kind of argued in DMs. He said the PUN was written down and put into the packet. He even had pictures on his phone that he sent me screenshots of. He did his part. He took pictures of the way they packaged it. He wanted to make sure that I wasn't one of those customers that's going to bullshit them and try to get everything out of them, which I'm not. I just want what the fuck I paid for. So he sent me pictures. Yep, and he circled it. That packet right there has your PUN. So then I made a sarcastic video directed to him, where I still have that packet. It's actually right here. I pull it out, pull the papers out of the sleeve, and go one paper at a time, showing him, yep, there's no PUN here. Nothing's written down. He says it should be on a separate piece of paper, put into there. I'm like, dude, I have that packet that you circled. It's right here in front of you. Nothing is in there. He finally just kind of like calmed down a little bit, and then he said he's going to review all the emails back and forth, because I even called him out on it. I said, I told you guys, I asked you guys about the PUN, and you guys should have responded then. Hey, it should be in that packet. In which case I would have said, no, it's not. Here's all the contents. And then we would have figured out, because let's face it, me opening up the transmission right when they send it to me, I mean, they could be like, okay, warranty's done. Any problem from here on out, you fucked it up. I didn't want to pull the pan, right? I paid them to build it, and they should have given me all the information to assure it operates properly. So then, I'll skip a lot of bullshit that had nothing to do with Pure, but let me just say that GM needs to step up their game and actually train their master techs on the importance of PUN, because first dealership had no idea what the fuck that was. So I get it programmed, and my truck failed the fast learn, and this is with the legit GM MDI tool, and it will not pass a fast learn, which from what I'm told usually means there's an assembly issue, clutch pack issue, clearance issue, something. Now mind you, this transmission, even after having the PUN flashed, had a massive flare on the 2-3, 6-7 shift and on the 3-1 downshift. I did everything at Pure's request, from changing tuner. I had their tuner review everything. Their tuner was hack tuning the shit out of it. They said they had over doubled the pressure to try to get it to shift right, to get rid of the flares. I mean, he was fucking with it for a while. I even sent Pure the screenshot where their recommended tuner said there's an internal issue with this transmission. They requested I replace the TCM, so sure, there's another $500 fucking dollars out of my pocket. Replaced the TCM, still no change. I just was getting. They asked, did you replace the transcooler? I'm like, yep, brand new. First time I flushed it. This time at their request, I had put a brand new one before I even swapped the transmission, or put in the second one. So, it's like at this point I feel like, okay, I replaced the TCM, nothing's fixed. What's next? They're going to tell me to replace the harness. They're going to have me change the whole truck around the transmission because they don't want to accept the fact that there's probably an issue here. Now, I'm not going to say that Pure can't build a transmission. I'm sure they built it and clearanced it, right? But Chris Miller told me he had his guy disassemble, reassemble, disassemble, reassemble, and then when he got into town, he disassembled and reassembled. It's probably a bad seal. A seal probably got ripped in all of that fucking process, and there's, leakage from that clutch pack. Sounds pretty simple. It probably just needs to be pulled apart, put new seals, put it back together, and it's done. But the last communication from them was on June is the second or third. They requested a video, and the way they worded it pissed me off because they wanted the video of the flare in quotes, um, which makes me think, okay, they think I'm just some anal customer who does who wants a transmission that handles all its power, but complains that it barks a tire. Right? I'm not one of those customers. I made a video, showed them the flare, like right then and there. I left work. I was on the clock. I left work, made them a video showing all of the issues, and I even exaggerated it. So when it would flare, instead of letting off the gas, let RPMs drop before it finally kicks into gear, I would whack the throttle. So on the 6.7, I'd whack the throttle, go up to 5,000 RPM, and then boom, it's like neutral drop into the next gear. It's like I exaggerated every flare. They saw every single thing. They heard the tires spin when it did the 3-to-1, everything. Sent them what they requested, and I never heard back. That was June 3rd, and it is now July 16th. So, and right after all of that, that's when Chris Miller started fighting everyone on the internet, calling people who spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with him poor because I don't know, it's calling them poor, it's calling them fat. Hey, Chris Miller, I'm poor, I'm fat too. But he's fighting everyone on the internet because he's being exposed for shoddy fucking builds, or I'm sorry, what it appears to be stock transmission builds with his laser engraving. Um, it's all kinds of horror stories have since come out, so I'm just one of many people who have gotten fucked by Pure. If you see this or you're a friend of mine, I would recommend you do not send anything to Pure. I have receipts for everything that I stated. Um, so I fully invite Chris to come on here and call me out on shit, and I can show proof countering anything he's going to say. So I still, after spending well over $10,000, I'm probably all in all just transmission related, buying shit I shouldn't have had to buy, blah blah blah. I'm probably $12,000-13,000 into this transmission, and it still doesn't work right. I have to take it back out, take it to another transmission shop, and have it rebuilt. Or at least find the seal that's bad. I'm hoping it's simple and cheap because I am just broke at this time. This transmission cost me way more than it was supposed to. Um, so yeah, I still have to have it fixed. It still doesn't run right. But again, they ghosted me. They want to fight everyone on the internet instead of helping their customers who are trying to work with them still. So, yeah, that is my experience with Pure Drivetrain Solutions.